yourself eating more when you're stressed? Or do you reward yourself with food? Do you find yourself using food to cure boredom? If you answered yes to one or more of these, you likely have an emotional eating problem. Emotional eating is defined as using food to relieve negative emotions rather than to relieve hunger. So if you find yourself with a tendency to eat more during high stress seasons, you likely are an emotional eater. It's so common for people to turn to food as a way of comfort when trying to deal with difficult feelings. However, over time, emotional eaters tend to find themselves in an unhealthy, sometimes dysfunctional relationship with food. See, the food pattern that comes out of emotional eating sort of keeps them trapped in a rut that's very difficult to come out. So think about it this way. When you're triggered by an emotion or a feeling or a situation, and then you turn to food to distract you, to make you feel good, even for a short while, that is the false comfort. I call it false comfort because really the problem is still there long after you've consumed the food. And then there comes the physical response. You feel bloated, you feel gassy, you feel uncomfortable. Then there is the food guilt. You feel ashamed. You're like, why did I do that? I'm gonna gain weight. Why do I keep doing this? Thereafter comes the self-criticism. I am indisciplined. What's wrong with me? Why do I keep doing these things? What does that do? That causes another trigger. It causes another negative emotion. And then what happens? You find yourself wanting to eat more. And that's why you find some people getting into deep states of binge eating where they literally cannot stop because they're struggling to regulate all the negative emotions happening in their emotional environment. So emotional eaters find themselves caught up in a cycle of binging or emotional eating and then dieting or over-exercising or throwing all their self-will and recommitting to start afresh tomorrow. But if you're an emotional eater and you're listening to this today, I want to let you know that emotional eating is not a discipline issue. It's an emotional issue. I don't really care about what you're eating. I just want to ask, what's eating you? Emotional eaters are often very self-critical because we have this idea that I'm not disciplined enough, I don't have enough willpower, why can't I just get it right? But if you're able to understand the underlying cause of why you eat erratically, if you're able to understand the origin of that, then you're able to intercept the cycle of emotional eating and over time be able to manage it effectively. So today I'm going to teach you a little exercise that I take my clients through. I call it the name it and tame it exercise. This exercise will help you identify what emotions drive your eating patterns. Identifying or calling out your patterns gives you a chance to step back, identify what exactly has been going on in the underbelly of your emotions. And then at that point, you can make an informed decision on what you want to do with these emotions. There's a lot of power in naming your emotions because if you can name them, you can tame them. You can control them rather than them controlling you. If you look at the screen, there's a wheel with tons of emotions. We have a tendency of using blanket words to describe how we feel. I'm fine. I'm happy. I'm mad. But our emotions are much deeper and more complex. And the key to getting untriggered is to get to the root or to find the words that describe what you're truly feeling. This word wheel will help you identify really what is at the core of what you're feeling. What is triggering you? Is it a work issue? Perhaps there's a project coming up and you're feeling nervous. But is it nervous or do you really feel inadequate? Do you feel like it won't be good enough or you're not good enough? By the way, it doesn't matter if it's a rational or irrational thought. It only matters that it's existing and playing out in the way you show up. So identify it, name it, call it out, and write it down. When you're done with the exercise and you have a cluster of emotions that you're identifying running through your day, your eating patterns, then it's time to start writing down. I don't know if you're into journaling, but there's something very powerful of putting pen to paper. It's very cathartic and very therapeutic. When you start to write, there's a flow. And sometimes, I don't know if you've noticed this, but if you love to journal, then you will find that sometimes there's thoughts and statements that come out on paper that you really hadn't even been cognitive of. So I would love for you to take some of these thoughts you have identified and create a journal. Why do I feel inadequate? Why am I scared? Why am I angry? The name it and tame it exercise is a powerful tool if used frequently to help you identify difficult feelings. Go back to this video, download it on your phone, and click on the link in the bio to go to my website and download the word wheel and make this a periodic exercise for you. Get to know the recurring theme of emotions that you struggle with or you deal with so that you can be able to know how to intercept emotional eating. Use this exercise to get to understand the recurring theme of emotions you tend to have that cause you to overeat or to binge eat or to entertain some other habits that perhaps you're not very proud of. Did you like today's video? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you resonated with the most. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.